You are now watching the Movie Juice Podcast.
The juice is loose.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Juice Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm James.
Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Juice the movies! Oh, yeah! I've never gotten to see the angle of the computer, and like our fucking Movie Juice channel is like, that was cool.
Yeah, well, we're the
Our
boys.
audio waves.
We're the boys and we do what the fuck we want.
God
Yeah,
damn.
Jeff complains a lot to me.
Fuck him!
Yeah, for real.
You hear me over there in the corner? You bitch!
Jeff can suck my balls.
He will later.
He can suck my dick from the back. Yeah.
Can I be Jeff?
Control real quick?
That's a little inside baseball, buddy. So this week we're talking about Dope.
Yeah, the 2015, I guess, hit film.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know if it was really a hit. I think it did okay.
Some of the reviews I watched said that it had a limited theatrical release, so I don't even think it was in like all theaters.
I worked at the theater when it came out, for sure.
I remember Trevor would talk to me about it and how good it was before I watched it for the first time. But I watched it for the first time years ago.
The only memory I have of it, I've never seen it, but like the memory I have is that I always wanted to rent it from Redbox when I worked at Lowe's Foods, but I never did. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rent that, and then I never did. Because it had Blake Anderson in it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna rent that. It's got Blake in it.
Oh god, yeah, and he
Never
had
watched
that
it.
god awful like press interview. With
It's a bagel.
It's a bagel because he was hungover and he says fuck. And
He's like, hey, we're gonna cut it there. Sorry, you had to hear that.
It's a bagel.
It was released January 24th, 2015 at Sundance, and then was released to theaters June 19th, 2015. It had a budget of $7 million, and it made $18 million at the box office.
What?
So I definitely wouldn't call it a hit, but it made its money back.
Yeah.
Made a profit. That's good.
Yeah, it made a small profit. Pretty low budget, so I mean, it did better than expected. Yeah, it says production companies. I've never heard a single one of these.
Oh shit.
Significant Productions, I Am Other, and Revolt Films.
I Am Other sounds kind of cool.
Isn't that will.i.am? That's what I thought. I thought maybe, I don't know.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
But it was distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing International and Stage 6 Films and Open Road Films. I've heard of Open Road before.
I've heard of Sony.
Yeah, Sony's a pretty big one.
Fuck, bro, I was close. It's Pharrell Williams.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a multimedia creative collective and record label created by Pharrell Williams. Which I remember I saw him as a producer in the credit. Maybe he just really likes will.i.am.
A lot of people in this movie that I recognize.
Same.
Like A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, bro, is that A$AP Rocky?
Zoe Kravitz is in it.
Yeah.
Who was A$AP Rocky? Was
Dom.
he Dom?
Yeah.
Was he Dom?
Yeah.
Oh, A$AP Rocky? Okay.
Because as soon as he says, "Hey, come here, real quick," I was like, "Is that A$AP Rocky?" And then he took off the glasses. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
I was looking at him the whole time, and I was like, bro, I swear I know this fucking dude. I was like, who is this?
Zoe Kravitz. She went on to play Catwoman
Yep.
in Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Which was weird, 'cause, like, I didn't really know she was really acting until the Batman.
Where the fuck
It's weird
was...
that she's been acting since 2015. Even
I
maybe.
don't remember Tyga in this movie.
He was, I think, one of his friends.
Okay, that makes sense.
I remember after I saw his name in the credits, I was like, "Oh, I think he was that guy."
Would you guys recommend this movie?
Yeah, for sure I would. It was a fun little watch.
I think I'd recommend it. If it's on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would necessarily...
I wouldn't say seek it out.
I wouldn't go to the theater to see it.
Yeah, I don't
for
think I
sure.
would have either.
Yeah.
I don't... I mean, it's obviously not in theaters. Like,
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
But, you know, like, I think it would just depend on, like, who I'm talking to. Like, if I think they would like movies like that,
Right.
I'd be like, yeah, you should check out Dope. It's, like, it's pretty good, but I don't think... Like, I'm probably not going to watch
It's like
it again.
it's a yeah, I probably won't watch it again either, but it was like a nice little like summer film.
I could see that.
Yeah.
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 If I want something different to watch during the summer, maybe
Yeah.
giving it a rewatch.
But I
probably
liked
won't.
it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Also, Blake Anderson from Workaholics fame is in it.
Yes, he is.
Forrest Whitaker was the narrator.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that in the credits and I was like, huh. Because he sounded familiar the whole movie, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like losing sleep over it.
I
And
wonder,
then at the end, I was like, oh, okay.
I wonder which eye he read the script with.
Right.
So we all recommend it. You recommended it, right?
It was like a slight recommend.
Okay.
I wouldn't seek it out, but I mean, if it's on, I'd watch it.
Alright, so the movie starts with the definition of the word dope, and it's a drug taken illegally for recreational purposes.
This motherfucker wrote the whole definition.
A stupid person, and then 3 slang excellent.
I literally just wrote, my first note is literally just the definition of dope. You actually wrote the whole definition.
Well, I thought it would come back later in the movie.
Yeah, I thought it did too, but no, it
that's
didn't.
the only reason I wrote it.
I mean, it kind of does, I guess. Cause
Yeah.
It's the whole premise of the movie.
They
but, like,
sling
they never
dope.
like
Yeah.
And then I put
when I worked at Lowe's Foods, but I never did. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rent that.
Malcolm is a geek with one memory of his father. Also, he's the voice of Spider-Man.
I'm not gonna
Miles
lie. Whenever the
Morales.
movie first started, I thought that it was like because you like they kind of throw you through a loop because I thought it was like it took place in the '90s.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
thought that too.
You see like the fucking Super Nintendo and you see all the tapes
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like I love like a '90s backdrop, which I think I've talked about on this podcast before.
No.
But then like
Then you immediately see an iPhone. You're like, what?
yeah, and then he's like, oh, I'm just like a fucking '90s hip hop nerd, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Where do they get their clothes? Like, how do they find the clothes that fit them perfectly that they
Right.
just wear? Because
Right.
they're wearing like shit that like fucking they would have wore back then. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you find that shit? Slat top's sweet though.
Yeah, that was cool.
Flat top.
Spoiler alert, he shaves it
Shaves
like
it.
at the end of the movie, and I was like, bro, you should have kept that. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, like all that stuff, and then
I thought the soundtrack for the movie was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
soundtrack
the
was
soundtrack for the movie was
banging,
good.
bro.
it's like he's talking to his mom. Then it talks about how he only has the one memory from his dad, and it's his
Yeah.
dad giving him his favorite movie. And what was it? Superfly? Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, the blaxploitation film.
He
And-
starts kind of talking about where he lives too. He lives in Inglewood,
yeah, the bottoms is what
Yeah.
they call
Yep.
it. Yeah.
which was I think Tupac's famous for being from there, or at least rapping about it. Inglewood.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he says
And
that. Tupac's from the East Coast, though, I'm pretty sure. And he just moved out west and
Yeah.
started beef with the
True.
East.
I don't know. I really don't know the full history. I
Yeah.
love Tupac.
I don't really
his full
know.
history.
Well, I've seen the
But
movie.
that sounds right. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I didn't personally know that.
I've seen the movie The Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the one that they made about Tupac.
Yeah,
I never saw that one.
I didn't either.
I never saw All Eyes on Me.
I was going to, never got around
Never
to.
got around to it.
but then he's talking about like kids in his neighborhood too. He's talking about this kid that was like literally about to beat Zelda. He's like, and I in my notes I just put he never got to beat Ganon. That's sad.
Oh, because he gets shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's talking about how like you can like accidentally get shot and then
just like being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
because he was literally just like a nerdy kid just chilling and then like they come in to rob like some
Yeah.
random like fast food joint.
And I was like, damn, he never got to experience Zelda. What it felt like to beat it. I felt bad for him.
And then like they're all like they're going to school and you meet his friends.
He also
Yeah.
talks about Bitcoin too.
Yeah.
I put in my notes that it didn't age quite well.
No, it did, but it comes back later in the
It
movie.
does, yeah.
Talking about
Because
Bitcoin.
when it comes back later too, it's almost like when they're talking about exchanging, and I'm like, that's not how it works, man. Like I don't know if Bitcoin would have been up then, if we're being honest.
And I put, whenever they introduce his friends, I put Jib and Diggy are also geeks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Diggy was a girl at first.
I didn't
until
either.
they say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I was questioning it, and then
Yeah.
they said it. I was like, okay.
Because they're introducing the friends, I wrote Jib is also in a different Spider-Man series, and I put if I had 2 nickels. I put Diggy is a lesbian, and every Sunday her grandmother makes the church pray
Pray the
away her
gay.
gay.
Pray, yeah, they say pray the gay away.
And that one shot's pretty funny where like they're praying for her, but she's just like checking this lady out, like, oh, what's up, girl?
Yeah.
Like looking up her skirt. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's literally having the opposite effect. You're literally turning her on.
And then they keep describing the friends and said they are ridiculed for liking white shit like Donald Glover in
That
TV
was
on the
funny,
radio.
dude.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too.
That TV on the radio one got me. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's funny.
And I was like, they have a band together, definitely influenced by TV on the radio.
Oh yeah, definitely.
the shit that they were playing sounded
They have a
like
couple good
something.
songs. Too. Like
Yeah.
that one that they played throughout the movie is pretty fucking good, bro. I'm
I
in a
lo-
good mood.
I love when
Can't
the
bring me
janitor.
down.
I love when the janitor walks in and he just shakes his fucking head.
Yeah, because they're like screaming cuss words.
Yeah,
you know?
because I just put in my notes, janitor disapproves.
Janitor does not like Oreo. The name of their band, Oreo, but it's spelled weird.
And then I
It's
put,
like
no,
all Rio.
Ah.
yeah, I put not a bad band, low key.
Yeah, I thought that their music was pretty good.
Especially with
Yeah.
which one's Diggy? Jib?
Jib is Flash Thompson.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so Jib. When Jib was slapping that bass, I was like, shit, he's pretty good. Shit.
Jim was on the bass and Diggy was on the
On the drums, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And then Lakeith Stanfield tries to
That's what I
bully them
put
for
too.
his shoes.
Yep. I was like, holy shit, like he's Stanfield. Because I was like, I wasn't watching things that he was in yet. So like,
Yeah.
like to go back in, like loving him now and then go back to this and see how young he was there. I was like, shit, man.
What is he in?
Get Out.
Oh, okay.
He's-
He's,
Get Out.
he's the first guy that gets kidnapped and the one
Oh, okay.
one where he flashes the picture. He's like, get out of here.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's also
He's Jesus in Book of Clarence.
Yeah.
I never saw that movie.
He's also in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yep, he's in Atlanta.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
or
he
like
is.
more stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to see him in this, so you tell me that was cool.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
And then I have a note later, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now since we're talking about him. It's weird that in the credits, his name he went by Keith Stanfield, not Lucky.
Oh.
I thought that was weird.
I didn't notice that.
I was like interesting. I
But
was
also,
like,
Amazon cut it off like after like the little
oh yeah,
clip at the end
Yeah.
where he's dancing in the credits.
that was funny.
Like after that, Amazon just cut it off, and I was like,
Amazon
okay.
said, "Fuck you, you ain't watching the
I
rest
was
of
like,
it."
what if I wanted to watch the fucking credits?
No.
And then it pans to the teacher man disapproving on Malcolm's research paper on Ice Cube's Good Day.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, man. The
Yeah.
teacher shit all over. He's like, yeah, well, you need to. He's basically doing that speech from Ice Cube in 21 Jump Street about embracing your stereotypes. And I was like, no, man, he's trying to be different. Like, fuck you, man.
And I put, teacher shits on his dream of going to Harvard, but hey, they let in Rivers Cuomo and James Franco, so the bar's already pretty low. And then it pans back to him and their friends, and that's when Jib says the N-word, and I put, I don't know if Jib can say the N-word, but he definitely did.
Yeah. And then we come to find out he can say it a lot more because he says it like a good 20 more times.
They
Quite
say
a
it
bit in
lot.
this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's riding home on his bike, and then ASAP Rocky calls him over to come talk to him.
Well, because they're trying to get home and there's like a blood
Yeah,
the
the-
Bloods are
yeah.
shooting their music video.
The Bloods are shooting their music video.
So in order to avoid that, they have to go down this other street, but that street's always notorious for drug dealers.
Well, the drug dealers always try to steal their bikes too. That's what they
Yeah.
say. So like they get split up. Like Jib and Diggy go one way, and then Malcolm's just kind of sitting there, and
Yeah.
that's whenever
ASAP Rocky said, "Hey, come here, little kid."
what's his name,
Dom.
Yeah.
And that's what my note just says, ASAP Rocky, no way. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
I put, holy shit, is that ASAP Rocky?
And surprisingly, he's kind of good at acting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to act in more shit, I would not be mad about it. Like, you know, like there are some rappers that turn actors that are good at it. There's
Yeah.
some that are like, and there's some that just suck. But ASAP Rocky was pretty good.
I didn't catch his name at first, and my next note still refers to him as ASAP Rocky. But ASAP Rocky gets Malcolm to go talk to a girl for him, and I put, holy shit, is that Zoe Kravitz? And then I put Zoe Kravitz roast Rocky. Because she was just like, hey, why can't he come over and talk to me himself like a real man?
Yeah.
All right.
And I was like, that's funny.
And then
And
she,
this
'cause
is part of my notes where I said, "Can Flash Thompson say the N-word?"
he wants Dom wants him to go talk to her because he wants to invite her to
The club
a
for
club
his birthday.
for his birthday
Yeah.
party that night. He goes back to ASAP Rocky or Dom, and he tells him, and then he goes back to what's the girl's name? Nakia.
Yeah, Nakia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or Nakia?
I wrote that in a
Nakia.
later note because I didn't catch her name at first until later on. Well, actually, I didn't get her name until I paused it at some point.
And Amazon has that
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
where
it
it
just tells
pops up
you-
the actors' names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I found out the Forrest Whitaker was the narrator.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
But he gets her to he's like trying to get her to go to the club.
And then she says she'll go only if Malcolm goes.
Only if Malcolm goes.
And then that's when it comes to them with the friends, and the friends like, we gotta go, man, come on.
Yeah,
that'd
they're
be
in
awesome.
the bedroom and they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you think she's gonna like? She's saying that she wants you to fuck her, bro. Oh my god."
Yeah, that was the implication she kind of gave.
That was for sure.
Like, yeah, I'll only go if you go. Like,
Yeah.
come on, it's pretty. Yeah. Anyway.
Because then they're back in like I think they're in Malcolm's room and he's talking about like I don't know if I want to go to a drug dealer's birthday party.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. And then like they get to the party.
They should not have gone.
Yeah.
no, like, they get to the thing and the bouncer pretty much rejects them.
Yeah, because he lets those girls in, and they try to sneak in, and then he won't let them. And then they're like, "Well, Diggy's a girl," and she flashes her fucking boobs.
Yeah, they
at
fucking
him.
make fun of her. I was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. And then
But
they're-
I think it's funny. He said, "I gotta do the." It was like the dick to vagina ratio, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, I get it. Like, I know that's what bouncers are there to do is to like keep it even. But I was
Yeah.
like, the way he said it was funny.
And then they try to sneak in, so they go grab sound
They
equipment.
pretend to be roadies.
And
Well, also because they give up and they're getting ready to leave because the dude's like, "Well, you don't have IDs anyway. You're not
Right.
old enough."
Then
Yeah.
Nakia shows up.
And then Nakia
She's like,
shows
"You
up,
coming in?"
and then they try to steal the sound equipment, and they run in.
Yep.
This is like the first time too that you kind of get the sense that like Malcolm is like when the chips are down, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go for it? Or are you gonna
Yeah, homie
push
definitely like fucking fully sends it.
And like,
Yeah.
because even the friends are like, let's just go. And then he's like, that's when he grabs the equipment. He's like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
I put bouncer catches him and tells Dom not to let them in. Dom roasts him and tells him that it's his birthday, and then threatens him, and then bitch slaps him anyways.
Because if he doesn't, it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. And then like Malcolm, it's cool when Malcolm like describes
That was cool.
because it kind of gives off the vibe too. I got it anyway that like like Dom's also like kind of a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's not like your run of the mill like gangbanger. Like he's
Right.
at least like a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
And later on, we kind of learned where he learned it from.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, he's
You
definitely, like, you can definitely tell he's more well spoken.
He's definitely not like a fucking idiot. Because like the one dude doesn't know what the slippery slope means. He's
Yeah.
like, you mean skiing? Like skiing?
No, it's funny.
And he's like, no.
And then Malcolm pretty much just like comes out with the definition of it. He explains what a slippery slope is, and then A$AP Rocky's like, or Dom's like, man, I like this guy. He's smart.
Yeah.
Because whenever he lets them in, they immediately do shots, and I put Dom don't give a fuck about underage drinking. What
Yeah.
a savage!
I put Dom as a great mentor. He just cause like at one point like Flash Thompson's Jib is like
Jib.
fucking like getting like he's like
Yep.
falling over and
Yep.
puking, and I was like, damn, I was like, I don't know if I should be excited or kind of sad. That's fuck.
I put Jib can't handle his alcohol.
I feel like Dom is like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like he's one of like yes he's a drug dealer and a gangbanger or whatever, but like I don't think he has any ill intentions towards like Malcolm being there.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. Like I don't think he's trying to do anything. Like he's just
Anybody
like,
else
whatever.
probably trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, like let the kids have fun. They
Yeah.
can come. They're cool. Whatever. And then like they all drink together, and then you see like them smoking the hookah, and then Malcolm goes to dance with Nakia.
Yeah. While this fucking song, I had to put it in my notes because it's pissing me off. Where this song just keeps repeating, "These girls let it pour," and I was like, "This is really getting fucking annoying," because they just keep,
Yeah.
"These girls let it pour, these girls let it pour," and it was really getting, it's kind
I
of
put-
annoying me. I was like, "We get it, buddy.
Well,
your
while
your
they're
song's all chorus. We get it."
While they're dancing, I put Dom shows up and cock blocks Malcolm,
Yeah.
and then I put Dom's drug deal goes south real quick.
Yeah. It does.
Well, he tells Malcolm to go away, and then like that other dude comes out like right after while he's like macking on Nakia.
Yeah.
And they pull him aside, and then they go back to the back, and he's showing him like the Molly.
Yeah.
And he's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, this is like different than that bullshit y'all are doing in the hood." Blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like right before they can even make the deal,
fucking
the fucking cops come in.
yeah. He's
and
like
they-
just starts blasting.
is it cops to begin with, or is it a drug deal going wrong, and then
it was gone
LAPD
wrong,
shows
but then the
up?
police showed up.
That's what I was thinking too, because like I
Because the
don't
guy
think-
had a ski mask on. The first guy to start blasting had a ski mask.
yeah, he
on.
comes in with the shotgun and
But
blows
then the riot
dude away.
people started coming into the actual club.
Yeah, because I wrote the party gets raided by the SWAT team. I put I think in quotations because I couldn't tell if it was the SWAT team or if it was the DEA
I think
or
there's
if
like a
it
little
was
bit of
regular.
both. They're like, yeah.
regular
Well, whenever they
cops.
come running in, they say LAPD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I thought Nakia got shot at one point because
I saw her grabbing her stomach.
Yeah, and like the lights, I guess were. But I thought it was blood at first, but I guess it was just the lights shining on her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's not blood, but then they walked out fine.
Because she takes Malcolm home, and then I put Mike get some stanky on his hang down.
I put something similar to that later with the scene, but like I couldn't remember how he said it the other week. I was gonna write my note like that, but I forgot what he said.
Stanky on his hang down.
And then they're talking back and forth in the car, and I took one quote 'cause I thought it was fire. I put "You shouldn't settle for what's expected," and I put fire quote.
I like that. That's cool. Especially when you're trying to rizz up a girl, bro. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, she'd be confident, and be like, oh shit, this guy wants more from me.
Oh, and also we failed to mention that Nakia is like a different girl,
Yeah,
like sitting there studying and
studying
shit.
to get her GED. She's doing like equations, and like Malcolm's
Yeah.
like, hey, if you do that, do the parentheses first.
That's why I think that's why she likes Malcolm, because she
Yeah.
knows that
He's going places.
he's smart
Like,
too.
yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not just like a gangbanger,
Right.
just like the stereotypical guy in the hood.
He's
Yeah.
different. He's built different. But then that's when he asked her to prom.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't think so. And he's like, well, what if I help you study?
Because she
Yeah.
said she never went to her prom.
Yeah.
Because I put Nakia tries to boost Malcolm's confidence, talks about how she never got to go to prom, and then Malcolm asks her, and she thanks him and kindly declines.
Yeah, she kind of shoots him down.
Yeah.
And then I put, he strikes a deal with her to help her pass her college test, her GED test, and then she'll go to prom with him. She says maybe.
Because she said that she wasn't because she said she was stood up at her prom, and she wasn't mad about the prom, but she was mad about missing Six Flags the day after.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of her friends had dates and she wouldn't have date, and she didn't want to
I
go.
was rereading my note after that and it made me chuckle. I put, he does not get stanky on his hang down, but he totally cranks his hog to a profile picture of her. Dude is down real bad.
Which is funny because it's a mirror to a scene before that where he's just cranking down to like some music video.
Oh, yeah.
that happens a little earlier when he's introducing all the characters.
Yeah, 'cause it was
yeah.
whenever they were in his room. He's like, I don't really want to go to a drug dealer's party, and then that's when Diggy was like, "Well, it beats what you do every night."
Yeah, and then it cuts to him just fucking jerking off. butt ass naked,
Butt ass
bro.
naked. One leg cocked up. I was like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, but whenever I saw him just cranking down to a profile picture of her, I was like, dude's down real
He
bad.
real
Whenever
bad.
I saw it, I was kind of like, we've all been there, buddy.
We've all been there.
We've all been there, buddy. Yeah.
And then I put Jib says the N-word again.
Dude, so much. Because then it's like the next day at school, right? Like
Yeah,
after
yeah,
she drops him
yeah.
off,
Yep.
and they're talking about it.
And they go through security. 'Cause,
Oh, we forgot whenever they're getting out of the club, Malcolm kind of saves Nakia,
yeah.
and then
That's
Dom gives him his bag.
Yeah, it's
Dom
just run.
Because Dom comes running out with the bag with
Because
drugs
because
in
at
it.
the beginning when they go in, he's like he's like school let out hours ago. Get that shit out of here. And he puts it behind the bar.
He's like, who brings a
Backpack to the club. Unless you're gonna like blow it up.
And then he goes and gives.
We don't find that out till later.
Yeah, well,
But-
we're about to find it out. He gives Dom comes running up and gives Malcolm his bag, and he's telling him to get out
He's
of
like,
there.
run.
And that's when he saves Nakia, and then now we're at school the next day.
And Malcolm sets off the alarm at school. The security guard lets him go because nerds aren't about that gang shit.
It's true. And like, I think the police officer also knows like them because I think he talks about his mom at one point. They grew up together. I think.
No, it's whenever it's earlier whenever the dude tries to steal his shoes, and
Well,
he
even
like
before that, when they first go into school, they talk to him like they know each other. He talks to the kids.
Yeah.
does he?
Yeah.
I thought they just tried to mess with him a little bit, and then he like shoos him away. I think it's just like, hey, what's up,
I
man?
think I'm pretty sure they talk about
I don't
like their
know.
history.
I could be wrong because I know he says like he talks to the gangbanger dude, and he's like, ask your dad about Stacy and how I whooped his ass too, or whatever.
Yeah.
and, like, what I'll do
I
to
remember
you.
that part.
Yeah, because he tells the gangbanger kid that whenever they
Well, yeah,
get-
but there's a scene in the beginning when they first walk into school and they go through the metal detector because they set that up like way earlier. So, but anyway, the fucking point is they're nerds, so he doesn't give a shit. They're not gonna bring anything to school.
Yeah, and I was like, Malcolm checks his bag, and this is before we found out what drug it is. I just assumed it was cocaine. And it's cocaine in a gun.
yeah, I thought it was coke too.
Yeah,
Because
and then it was.
he goes to class and he checks his book bag. He's
Yeah.
like getting ready to, or he goes to his locker. He's getting ready to put stuff in his locker. He's like, that's not textbook. That's drugs and a
Yeah,
gun.
I was like flashback of the party raid, and Dom shoves the dope in Malcolm's book bag.
Yep, I just put Don gave Malcolm drugs.
And then he gets a phone call, and
Well, because he freaks out and they run into
He's
the
like,
band
shit.
room.
He's like, holy shit.
and then like, everybody follows him. They run into the band room where they do their band practice.
It's just funny because Jib fucking like they run past and then Diggy and him around the corner, but then like Jib like runs into a guy in the hallway. He's like, oh, fuck shit, and he falls down. It was funny.
and then he gets a phone call from a. Well, I just thought he was another drug dealer. I didn't know he was a narc yet. So
Yeah.
I put and
You got my lunch.
I don't
Yeah.
think he is a narc because he gets arrested later.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He's basically a setup or something. Like I think he.
Yeah, I think
knows
he's like
the-
a sort of snitch because
I'm not sure what he is.
yeah.
He's definitely not who it was intended for.
Yeah. Then I put is on the other line. I put the phone call is giving Flaming Dragon vibes
Yeah.
from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
And I was like, drug guy pulls up with a red El Camino and tries to get his drugs back.
But it was a setup.
Yeah. And then Dom calls the phone from jail and tells Malcolm that the El Camino guy is either the feds or a snitch. Tells him to get out of there.
Yeah, he tells him like he's either gonna be the feds or he's gonna fucking take your shit and think you're a snitch and he's gonna kill you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what he says. Because then they're like, oh, and
So
then they
it's-
run off.
So it's either lose for him.
Yeah.
Right. So he just fucking gets on his bike. He's like, fuck, shit. And they run. And then they're getting chased for a while. And then they're able to juke him because he has a Find My iPhone.
Yeah.
He set that up in the phone call.
Yeah.
And then so he's tracking him with that. And then he's like, wait, there's a bus there. And then he puts his phone on the bus.
Yep.
And then, like, the gangbangers, I couldn't believe that shit. They just, like, stopped the bus. And I didn't realize that was his mom either, the bus driver.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was his mom until later on when he walks up to her. But, like, and then, like, I was like, it's crazy how, like, a gangbanger could just, like, stop a bus with a gun on. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Like, fuck. And then he's, like, pointing in people's faces. I was like,
Yeah.
shit, man. That's fucking crazy.
That's just probably just.
Could you imagine that happening? You're like, what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to your job on the bus, and that just happened.
Like, buddy, come on, man.
Yeah, she's like, the only thing I've seen is the road.
I was
So he
like,
finds the phone and they were able to get away. And then in my notes I put this movie is like California Stranger Things because it's like a bunch of shots of them riding their bikes down the streets. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
I was like, the group shows up to the address that Dom sent them, and
I don't remember her name.
yeah, I don't remember either names. I put the main dealer answers the door and tells them that they can just chill there until the main guy gets there, which I
Till,
guess is that dude's dad.
AJ
Yes.
gets there.
Yeah, because like the girl totally answers naked, and then like the dude's like, "Hey, why are you answering the door naked?"
That's what my notes I just put fucking rich kid, man.
Yeah.
He takes the group to his studio, and they roast him on changing words with the letter C to B.
Because of the Bloods.
Yeah, and he was
But like he only does it with certain words, and they're like, "Why only certain words?" He's like, I don't fucking know, man.
He's like, it's a case by case basis, and he's like, what do you mean like a base
by base basis.
She was like, "Is it hard C's or soft C's?"
But anyway, then they start talking about how they're like, "Oh, we wrote a song." It's like, "Well, let's fucking record that shit." So they record a fucking song.
And then they're like, "Is anybody hungry?" And then Jib's like, "Oh, I like cheese."
Chili cheese
Yeah, he
fries.
wants chili cheese fries. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh shit, that does sound good." The rich kid. I can't remember
Yeah.
that fucker's name.
Same.
Yeah,
but
I-
he, Jib, and Diggy go
Go
leave
get cheese
to go
fries.
get cheese fries.
And Rapper Boy's sister shows up and flirts with Malcolm.
Yep.
And then I put titties nice.
Yeah, bro.
I put Malcolm finna get some, and then I put high five for boobs.
High five for boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought boobs. High five. Hey.
I tried to high five my cat, but he just bit me.
Sounds like him.
Yeah.
Cause then he turns around, and she just takes her clothes off.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And they play Mother May I, and I was like, this is kind of hot.
And then she asks him if he's a virgin. He says no, but she tells him not to lie, and he says that he is.
I like that line too, where it's like there's too many liars in this house. It's like I get it. Like,
Yeah. And then,
show me something real.
and then I put homie's about to get some stanky on his hang down.
Hey.
And
And
I'm
all he
like,
gets is some stanky in his face.
yeah. I got a note about that too.
And not in a cool way.
I put pans back to the rapper and the snitch following them with Jib and Diggy. I put Freak on a Leash plays in the background.
Yeah, but I put corn. Nice.
Yeah, corn. Yeah.
And I was like, they get threatened. Pans back to Malcolm. I was like, the girl snorts the dope from Malcolm's backpack and gets on top of him. Throws up right in his mouth. Dude got the wrong stanky.
This is what he's really high. He's like, oh my god, he's about me!
To be fair, I panicked too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
She's like, have you ever fucked on Molly before? And he's like, no, I've never had sex at all. You know that.
Because he gets mad that she's doing the dope, and I was like, never trust. I put never trust a hoe. 303 taught me that.
Yeah.
And then I put gross just because of the throw up.
And then he tries to run out. She gets mad about it and says he's late for a college interview.
Yeah, and she's like, I'll take you.
Yeah,
and
she's-
like I was like, but
yeah.
you're high.
But she's high on
her
her
like
mind.
driving over those curves and shit, and like
Yeah.
that mini. Isn't it like a mini coupe?
Yeah.
And I
And
was
then
like,
she stops and then like passes out, and the cops drive by.
Because Scenario by Tribe Called Quest is playing. in
Yeah,
the
I love that
background.
song, dude.
But specifically Busta Rhymes' verse.
Yeah, and then like the cops drive by, but like she's perched up in a way where it looks like she's awake, so they just kind of drive by.
Yeah.
And then she wakes, like she kind of taps him, like, "Hey, wake up!" And she's like, "I gotta pee."
I gotta pee, and then she just gets out, and starts running. Like,
Yeah.
Almost gets hit by like 3 cars.
Yeah.
She gets out of the car, runs to $7 coffee to pee. Malcolm just takes the car.
Yeah, I put
Which-
fucking GTA.
Well, like, I'm assuming $7 it was there because they couldn't afford to use Starbucks.
Yeah.
But it's like the same font, the same color green,
but
and
like she
everything.
basically just takes a piss in their bushes.
And then at this point is whenever he sees, because he's in the car, and the other drug dealer like drives past, and he's getting chased by the cops.
Because I think before that scene, they get to the place to order,
Right.
And the guy shows up for a second, but then we cut. That's when we cut back to Malcolm and them.
Because the guy shows
And then
up.
this is a really cool cut because the guy drives by Malcolm and he's like, "What the fuck?" And the cops are chasing him. And then like it rewinds. It's
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
Because the guy
to
shows
show
up
us
and
what
he
happened.
says he wants his
Yeah.
lunch or whatever, and then like they're like talking shit to each other. And I think in the scene before it shows him like shows the drug dealer that's with Diggy and Jib.
He pulls
like,
out the gun.
He pulls out the gun and then
Yeah.
it goes back to what Malcolm's doing.
Yeah.
But then like what they like get into a little struggle or something, and he accidentally shoots himself.
Like yeah, I can't remember what happened. Like
Yeah.
fuck, it was something where like the
they're-
guy like maybe like shoves him a little bit, and he actually ends up shooting himself.
Yeah, because then there was a shootout, and then Jib and Diggy jump
Yeah.
out the drive-through window.
Yeah, he grabs the chili cheese fries too because they're still making them. I was like taking the chili cheese fries to go.
Yeah, he took him. He's like the fries.
I gotta get the fries.
Dude, hey, all jokes aside, chili cheese fries
Baker,
fucking
they're
slap.
fucking good, dude.
Dude, Chili's has a version of it, but they put like jalapenos on it too.
Shit, should we go Chili's?
Pretty tasty.
Fuck yeah, dude. So anyway, that happens. They leave. Malcolm shows up for his interview, and
And I put this is the most awkward college interview ever.
because he notices the pictures of those 2 kids on his desk, and he's like, "Oh shit, those are."
Well, and he
your
also
kids?"
notices a picture of
Dom.
Dom. He's like, "Is that Dom?"
And I
And
was
that's
like,
that's
oh,
when he kind
shit.
of we'll get into it. But
Yeah, because like the way he was talking is super fucking weird.
yeah, he's like ah.
Because he leans on his desk at a weird angle too.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck sits like that? That
He's
can't
a very,
be comfortable.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it gets super weird until he realizes, like, because Malcolm tells him, like, hey, are those your kids? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, I think I have a delivery for you. Hey!
And I wrote at one point, because he talks about his dad in this scene, I was like, you find out Malcolm's dad went back to Nigeria after he was born. And then they're talking about how Amazon ships CDs.
Yeah. Well,
He's like, you don't order a CD.
And he's talking about how, like, you know, if Amazon loses the package, then it's Amazon's.
Amazon is responsible for it.
Yeah.
And you'd be calling saying, "Where's my shit?"
And he's basically telling that kid that, hey, you're responsible for getting...
You're responsible for getting the money for the drugs.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to make this right.
Yeah.
Tells him to take responsibility and to go make the delivery, or his family and friends could be in extreme danger.
Because he says they're both from the same place. He's like, we're both in the same place. I want you to rise up like I had to do.
Yeah. And he tells him, like, you know, the bottoms, you know, your family or your friends, they can...
Any one of them.
They can die just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know? Because, like, you find out that the dude who's doing, like, his college... What was his name? Jacoby something? Was it Jacoby?
Austin Jacoby, I
Austin
think.
Jacoby?
That's why it's AJ, I think.
Yeah. He finds out that dude, like, he's from there, and he's like a drug dealer, but he's also, like, a successful businessman.
He went to Harvard, and then he has his company he owns is the checking account place.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but, like, he owns a very successful business that he went to Harvard for.
Yeah.
And then and then you just kind of put it together, and the dude who's doing his college interview is also the dude who's the drug dealer. Like,
and then that's when you kind of realize too that, like, so Dom kind of learned all he knows from him.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he's a little smarter, is because he kind of had a mentor.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just pans to Malcolm getting on a bus, and he takes a little small day nap, and then he dreams about all of it.
That was a cool shot. I like that a lot.
Everyone in the movie is just getting on the bus.
Yep. kind of showing what Jacoby was talking about, like, anybody in if you don't do this, your friends or family could suffer. And, like, you see all the people he cares for on the bus. It's a cool little thing of kind of reminding you what's at stake.
And then that's when you kind of find out that it's Molly/MDM and
not blow.
Yeah, not coke. And then but Malcolm is talking to Diggy and Jib. Jib asks if the dealer is going to kill everyone or just Malcolm if he doesn't sell the Molly.
Yeah.
And then Diggy suggests going to Coachella and selling it or other white shit.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
She's not wrong.
And then that's when he's like, wait, we don't have to do it at all. Like, we can just. That's when they bring back Bitcoin. He's like, we could sell it for Bitcoin on the dark web, using the dark web and using untraceable IPs.
Yeah.
And put Malcolm says there's a website that sells illegal guns and credit cards with Bitcoins.
Yep.
And then that's when they try to use the school computer to access the dark web.
Yep.
Kind of lost me there a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, how are we gonna do it? He's like, they're like, where are we gonna do it? He's like, why not right here? They won't suspect it. He's like, we got the lab to do what we need to do to, like,
We got the science lab.
We have the computer lab, which no one uses.
Nobody uses the computer lab. And then they have the band room. They can use supplies from in there. And they're like, and we're just doing, like, the things that we normally do because we're fucking nerds.
Because that's when he does that thing where he's like, he walks through the metal detector. He's like, it's going off, but go ahead. And he's like, no one's gonna suspect a nerd.
Yeah, because he's still got the drugs in his backpack,
yeah,
which I think is crazy.
That's right. But I mean, like, where
at the same time though, like, I guess he's like, well, I better keep them with me.
Yeah.
You know,
later on, you know,
to get to the website. That's when they're like, we need someone that knows how to do that, and then
they start introducing.
That's when they introduce Blake Anderson's
and
character.
they talk about, like, how
Will Sherwood.
They met him at band camp back in the day, and he like knew all about drugs.
Dude.
And this one fucking scene lost me where he's talking about virginity and how, like, he's done every other hole but vagina.
No. That shit is fucking hilarious.
I wrote a quote, but let me get there. I put Will Sherwood is Blake. Met them at band camp a couple years ago. Blake says the N-word and gets smacked by Diggy for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, apparently he uses, because I wrote that down too. I was like, apparently he uses the N-word as a term of endearment, like Q-Tip in the song "Suck a N-word." And I was like, he never used the word again after that. Explains how he only fucks girls in the mouth and ass. Malcolm says is he's technically still a virgin, and then that's when I wrote his actual
I love
quote.
this one.
Dude, this is so funny.
I put Will responds that he's never been in the pussy, but only the asshole and oral. Says the question isn't am I technically a virgin, but the question could be is am I technically gay?
Bro, that shit had me laughing. I was like, what?
Yeah, I put whoa and then the mind blown emoji.
Dude, oh my god, that was fucking awesome. Because he was like, yeah, they'll let me fuck them in like any hole but the pussy, because then they can still say they're a virgin. He was like, I'm gonna get top since I was like 12, and I've been pounding ass since I was 14. And it's like, what?
Whenever he dropped that, or am I technically gay? I thought that was shit.
Am I
Was
technically
funny as
so
hell.
So fucking funny, dude. And they're all just like sitting there like intently listening to him, like, whoa.
And then it goes more into his story of like how he smoked a pound of weed a day and got a 1.9 GPA, but somehow got an incredible score on the SAT, and then hacked into his college database and deleted all the freshman grades.
Yeah, because he was on academic probation and he needed a 3.0.
Yeah, and then it said he finally achieved his dream of having sex with a black girl.
Isn't it the?
It's Lily.
It's
Yeah.
Lily, yeah. Like it's the girl that's. Isn't it the girl that's the drug dealer's daughter?
Because
Yep.
in my notes I was like, oh yeah, that's like that's how she got hooked on
Yeah,
Molly.
because have you ever fucked on Molly
Yeah.
and then she
Yeah.
takes it with him, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a good callback.
That's funny.
This
Now I wonder if
fucker.
she only let him have the asshole.
Nah.
yeah,
Hey.
And then they turned to him to try and sell the dope, and I said, dude is always going to be typecasted because of his hair and workaholics.
Yep.
Because like everything he's in, he's always just kind of a loser or a stoner or both.
Or janitor.
Or
yeah,
janitor.
in Scout's Guide.
Yep.
We should do that movie. That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
It's on my Letterboxd watch list.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I have it
This-
on my Voodoo.
This movie was also on my watch list. It's no longer there.
right, because you watched it.
It's on my Voodoo.
I do like how Letterboxd takes, whenever you click on it to review it, it immediately takes it off your watch list for you.
That's cool.
So you don't have to go back and do it
That's
yourself.
good.
That is cool.
But
Dylan, you're cool.
hey,
I don't normally use
We're all
Letterboxd
cool
for watch
guys.
lists. I use IMDb for my watch list usually because I can easily look up movies there and throw what I need to watch in there.
whenever you got me on Letterboxd earlier this year, I was at work and it was like January, so we had zero
So you had nothing to do.
shipments. So I was on the
I need
company
to-
computer,
I should transfer it,
and I was
yeah.
actually like on their website just doing it all
Yeah.
on there.
I
I was
use
going
Letterboxd way
through the
more.
years and just
Smart. Because I know there's some things that I've been rewatching recently where I'm like I have to put whether or not I sometimes I forget that I have to click rewatch, not first time watch or whatever.
And whenever we try to pick a movie, that's usually where I go to first to look and see what's on
Smart.
my watch list. What I have.
I have my when it's my turn. I already have my next one picked out because this movie reminded me of one I wanted to do.
Oh yeah.
But
But they start selling through the school because they are geeks. The security won't suspect a thing.
yeah, and I think it's funny. I put my notes: selling drugs is educational, says principal, because because they're in the lab cutting up the Molly, and the principal is showing these back in school, like the principal will take people around and show them.
Yeah.
Because they sign up for the
Google
Science Fair. He's
Yeah.
like, see, these three young kids are the only ones to sign up for the Google Science Fair. So he's
Yeah,
talking about like
gives
how
them a thumbs
And
up
he's
to
like,
the window.
it shows that the public education system still works. Blah, blah, blah.
and they're fucking cutting up drugs.
And they're cutting up fucking
They don't
Molly.
even know.
Yeah, bro. And he
Yeah.
just smiles.
And,
Yeah, what's up?
before he does the thumbs up, they play a little concert at Will's house party, and
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's the whole setup.
it end up a wild night in hopes to get customers for the Molly.
Because Will is like, for this big of a job, I can't do it for free. He's like, oh, you want to cut other profits? He's like, no, I don't want to cut other profits. He's like, I need Molly. And he's like, but what I want you guys to do is play for this house party I'm at, and then that's when we can get it started.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm throwing a party at my house, and we need a cool band. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that to blow up too, because that happened before the montage,
Yeah.
the party.
Yeah.
And like they get ready to play. He's like, he counts them in 1, 2, 3, and then it just jump cuts to him waking up the next morning.
And his phone's
And his
like
phone's, like,
ringing like
blowing
crazy.
up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting all these notifications.
I thought maybe it was going to be like orders, but then it was
I did
like,
too.
but then it kind of cuts into the. That's how it starts the montage. But it shows that like everyone loved his fucking band and they're like blowing up. So
See
like,
titties again?
yep,
See titties again?
Yep.
Because Diggy's getting a lap dance
yeah,
from a girl.
Yep.
Yep. It's
And,
like, looks fun. It's
And
all
they
those
have
old Snapchats, bro.
Yeah.
With like a 5, 4, 3 at the top.
Speaking of that, I wasn't until the end credits, but when they were doing that Feel Good song, they referenced Vine in the song, and I was like, that's dated.
Yeah.
The reference Vine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, 6 seconds, and I'm like, oh, like Vine. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, damn, that's dated.
and then after the drug boss shows up and gives him a thumbs up to the. I thought that shit was funny.
That
He
was
just gives
funny.
him a thumbs up to the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah.
That's when they renamed the drug Lily because
Because the girl
threw up.
girl went fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then it kind of just pans to them walking down the street, and that's when he runs back into Nakia.
Yep.
And
Was this where she asked for help?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, is that offer still on the table?
yeah, and
Yeah, I thought she would have been a bigger part of this movie, but you didn't see her for
Yeah.
a while.
and then she cries about her surroundings and say Dom called her from jail and says he asked about Malcolm, and that's when Malcolm panics and comes clean to her about
Yeah.
all the shit.
You're
And
supposed
she,
to put on your feminine wiles on me.
yeah, and then she gets big mad and kicks him out of the house.
She's like, turns out you are just another guy. You're like
Yeah.
everybody else.
Which I don't think is fair.
Yeah.
Really, I guess, to either of them. But at the same time, I I think that Malcolm was kind of right to understand that. Because she
Yeah.
kind of starts digging and asking questions. And he's like, hey,
He's like, hold up.
that's why you're here.
Yeah.
You know? I get that.
I'd be suspicious too, but that's because I have low self-esteem, and I would be like, "You're not doing this because you like me."
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no one else.
And then it pretty much goes to the next day at school after that, and there's a random drug search at school while they.
Well, he's gonna take the SAT.
Well, they're going to take the SAT.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick."
Well, because like he's sitting there and they're like, "Oh, drug search," and then like there's another dude in class. He's like, "Yeah, they do this randomly," and he was like, "But you should be fine as long as you didn't just throw the shit in the locker."
Yeah, he's like, "What kind of dumbass would just bring it with him?" And he's like, fuck.
Like, yeah, what kind of dumbass would put their drugs in their locker?
Which goes back to your point of like, yeah, no, I guess that is pretty dumb. Just keep it
Yeah.
on you all the time.
He'd like panic and go to the bathroom and grab that.
But then we get this little chase of him trying to get around the cops, and then he runs back into the security guy.
Yeah.
And once again, the security guy just lets him go because he's just a nerd.
He's just a nerd. He's like, oh yeah, good luck on your SAT, whatever.
Yeah, and then he's back to digging Jib and Diggy.
It's really hard, man.
I know, man. It was like Jib bitches out and says he doesn't want to sell anymore and wants to go to college.
Which I get, like he's looking out for his family because, like Malcolm, like he said, Malcolm, like the guy said that if he doesn't do it, other people could get hurt. So
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I get
Yeah.
where he's coming from.
And
but-
Malcolm says it's his weight to carry and not theirs. Diggy tells them that they all wanted to go to Dom's party, so it's all of their weights to carry.
Diggy, a real one.
That's when I was really. I didn't dislike Diggy any, but like I really liked Diggy at that point.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
like,
I
"Word,
was
that's
like,
cool."
Yeah,
Like,
Respect.
because I mean, it technically is because like Jib wanted to go the most out of all three of them.
I agree. Like it was
Yeah.
him pushing for it the most, and that's
Yeah.
why they went.
And then they go back to Will to talk about the Bitcoin.
And that's when he's telling them about how like
There's a small chance it
that
can
it can
be traced.
Well, also at some point during all that, like it shows where like the DEA or the FBI is like
I'm looking
trying
into it.
to figure
Yeah.
out where the fucking Lily's coming from.
That was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, it could be a reference to a 2 Chainz song.
Yeah, the 2
You know the birthday song.
The birthday song?
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe.
Ah, yes.
Yes, 2012.
That was our time. Because we are basically boomers now.
Ah, fuck yeah! My knees and back hurt all the time.
Bro, my knees popped the other day because I was like in a squat stance, and when I was getting back up, I heard them pop, and I went, oh!
I see memes about like a skibbity
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that
and
means.
Sigma grind. I'm like,
what is all
I'm
of
like,
this?
what?
What is this?
Brain rot.
I finally reached the point where I don't understand the lingo now.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I understand like half of it because I work with a bunch of like younger people.
I understand Riz.
Yeah, I know Riz and Rizzler.
Lately, someone's been saying
Rizzler sounds creepy.
Yeah.
instead of fire, they've been saying that's heat, and I'm like,
That's stupid. That's
why do we change it?
Damn it.
Like,
That's fire
Keep it
is
fire at that point.
yeah, just keep it
Or I was
fire.
watching something else, and they say slapped, and I was like, yeah, that is kind of an older term now too. Like, oh, that's slapped.
That slaps.
Might have been trap, I think. Doesn't the little girl say it in trap?
I think so.
Yeah, she says that.
Yeah, and it made me think. I was like, shit, that is kind of an old reference.
It's
now.
kind of an old term now.
Shit.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi's in that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, my
he
bad.
is.
Kid Cudi was in
Scott
that movie.
Mescudi was in that movie.
That was a good cameo. He wanted to fuck Josh Hart in it too. He was like,
Yeah.
I know we're not talking about that movie, but
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah, but, one last thing about that movie. Apparently, him and Cudi have been friends for like years.
That's crazy.
He produced. He was one of the main producers on Kid Cudi's "Pursuit of Happiness" music video.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and he also pitched Cudi the idea for that music video.
Josh Hart
Yeah.
was a real one.
Yeah,
Halloween H2O. He was in that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That was like his first movie.
I was looking at his IMDb trying to figure out where I knew him from.
I think he was in Pearl Harbor too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good looking dude.
He's a good looking dude.
Even older now. He's like,
When I saw the trailers for it, I know we're talking about that movie, but I'm just saying. When I saw the trailers for it, I was like, I haven't seen that dude in something in a long time.
this is movie juice, though. You guys know what you're getting. We're
Yeah.
gonna go on some tangents here and there,
Yeah, because we're.
and we all kind of had to watch Trap by ourselves, well, kind of. So
Yeah.
like you're getting a little snippet of what we liked, what we thought about it. Anyway.
Yeah,
It was alright.
yeah. It was something. It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
That's really all I'm gonna say about it. Anyway, they go to the black marketplace, and market dude rambles and tells Malcolm to hit him. Malcolm hits him, and
Because we're still talking about with Will, he was like, "Oh, there's a small chance it can be traced when you pull it out when you switch it to the bank account."
yeah,
And like I guess Malcolm is like, "Huh, interesting." But then that's when he tells him that if you want to do it discreetly, you can do it you can put the bitcoins on a flash drive,
And take it.
do it in person. That way, it's not.
yeah.
The other person will give you the money, but he's like that's not the route I would go. But I have this one guy that you could go to if you want to. But he's like, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to, I can hook you up.
And
And, Malcolm, to be safe, does that.
I liked the rant the dude had.
Same. It was
Like
good,
talking
dude.
about the bags and how like one of them is like
It's fake
and
and
the
one
other
of
one's
them's
real. Like they get their like alligator bags or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And like you could walk in, you could walk into where you're from, even with the tag on it. People are just from where you're from are going to assume it's fake.
Yeah, they're
So,
gonna
like, you have to-
assume it's fake.
Like, so what are you going to do about that? It's like you have to show them who you are.
I don't remember where he got. I don't know where he went on the rant where he was like, "Hit me, hit me."
well, I think he's trying to tell Malcolm to like show him what kind of guy he
What kind of
is.
guy?
Yeah.
You get the fuck out of here, pussy. I'll
he's
give you
like-
5 seconds.
I'll give you 5 seconds. He starts counting down. His two friends run away, and Malcolm just stands there, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I like that part a lot.
He's like, "Hit me, hit me." And then he hits him.
And then Malcolm fucking hits him, bro.
Yeah.
And the dude goes and gets the gun, bro.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, shit.
I know, dude.
And
And
then
then, but he's like, drive. He's like, what? He's like, the drive. Give me the drive.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
okay. Shit. I thought he was just like.
Because he's like, you showed me what kind of guy you were. Yeah. like,
I think it's funny too. Jim comes from around the corner, like, did he die?
Yeah, they're like looking around the corner.
That
Yeah.
was funny. And then so he gives him the bag with the money
Yep.
and apparently the gun too.
And
And, he says,
then-
"All right, cool." He's like, "You show me what kind of guy you are. I like
Yeah.
you."
and this is when I finally.
He was a good-looking dude too. I kind of liked him. I was like, "That."
Yeah.
I liked his hair too. I was
Yeah.
like,
Very cool.
"Fuck."
And then it's like nighttime, and then this is when.
This is when the movie kind of starts to lose me. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But anyway,
Because like Bug shows up out of nowhere for not being in this film for like half of it.
Yeah,
Or-
I-
my bad. Lakeith Stanfield.
I thought he was gonna be like, it would
More
have made
in
more
the
sense to
movie.
show him a little more.
Yeah.
But besides that one scene of him stealing the shoe, that's really all we get.
Yeah,
He's like,
because
you still, doesn't he like tell him he still owes him that shoe or
He
He
whatever?
owns the shoe, and he like punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
He takes the bag.
Takes the bag.
He
and like, oh,
takes the
let's-
bag.
Let's get the fuck out of here. He
And
looks in the
then-
back. He like they're walking away. He looks in the back. He's like, oh shit.
shit.
And then fucking
Malcolm pulls a gun on him.
Yep.
and like
He's like, "Give me the fucking bag, bro."
and he's like, whoa, it's okay. I ain't playing.
Yeah, and he gives him the bag, and he immediately gets the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
He gets in his car and leaves.
Yeah, they all like run away. He's like, I don't want this shit anyway.
And like it's like a really big scene where like he's just like holding it. He's like,
Yeah, and then, like-
because I even like the way he says he's like, please just put down the bag.
Well, the weird thing about this, like after this, the movie just starts chopping to the
Yeah,
ending.
which is already like not good to kind of rush your ending, but also I don't like the message it sends. Because like I just want to go and get into it after, I guess, because we're getting to the end game. But like at the end of the movie, the bully kind of respects him for pulling a gun on him, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the right message you want to send in this movie.
Is it respect or fear?
I don't know. But either way, it's not a good message to
No.
be like, oh yeah, if you pull a gun on someone, they'll
Yeah.
stop bullying you.
'Cause, like,
I
after
was like,
he-
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, because then it pretty much just pans to him going back to AJ for the interview, and I was
Yeah.
like,
But this was cool though. I like how
Yeah.
I like how he wound up to AJ.
yeah, and I was like, Malcolm shows back up to the college interview guy and tells him that Malcolm didn't sell it, but that the guy did, and tells him he has 97,267.31 in his Bitcoin account and $10,000 in cash.
Right. He said this is 10%, and then the rest is in the account.
And then I was like, he explains how the guy can exchange the Bitcoins into his money accounts, and the only way he could get caught as if he was extremely sloppy setting it up.
Which pans back to Will.
Yeah.
trying to basically, because Will, that's when you find out too that Will was in their mainframe or whatever as well. To
Yeah,
like
because
set
during
him
the
up.
montage, it shows him like messing with something.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it is.
Because AJ
Probably,
is like,
probably he's probably doing whatever it was that could trace it to them.
yeah, because
For
AJ is like, why should I believe you? And then Malcolm spouts off this dude's account numbers, which I thought was fire.
That was
Yeah.
because there's a scene from that earlier too where he's typing that in, but you don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's cool that he brings back like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what he was doing with that.
And he says he knows a guy that's very familiar with their system and that he should upgrade his firewall.
And then it shows that Will was the one that broke in there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
whenever he shows Will it shows him like breaking into something. But I thought it was like him breaking into like their school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his college and shit.
Because it doesn't explain what he's breaking into, and then it shows the reveal that he was breaking
Yeah.
in there, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
And then he tells the lady, "Yo, you're out of toilet paper."
And then pretty much
Pretty much gets away with it.
blackmails
I think
the
he
bad
writes
guy
him a
into-
letter of recommendation for
Yeah,
Harvard.
because he pretty much blackmails him with his like knowing all of his account information.
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right, I guess you're gonna get into Harvard, my boy."
'Cause I put in my notes. Malcolm's turning into a gangster.
yeah. And then it pans to Malcolm looking at his Ice Cube essay and deletes it and writes an essay about two students, one that's a geek and one that's a drug dealer, pretty much on his whole summer experience right here.
Yep.
Honestly, man, I really liked that part.
I like that too because it's
Yeah, the
'cause-
monologue was fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
'cause
monologue was cool.
He's basically just talking about like no matter where you come from, it doesn't matter as long what matters is what you do basically. Which I
Yeah.
like that too.
He
It's
says
good.
like student A, and he describes himself kind of before,
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
describes
him
student
after.
B, and then it's like if you close your eyes, who would you picture?
and then the screen goes dark, and then when it opens back up,
It's just him standing there.
yeah.
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 Just thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because
That's
basically he's both students.
He is no student, yeah. He is.
Cause that's where the movie started to get me back a little bit. Was that
A little bit,
monologue.
yeah, I agree.
And then he cuts
But
off.
then I don't like how like they kind of fast.
They totally rushed the end.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of
'cause
like
it was a good build up.
Yeah,
like
it
the
was.
end was just all right. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then he cuts off his Fresh Prince flat top
I was
haircut,
like,
and I was like,
no.
no, I like that.
And I was like,
liked
maybe
it.
he'll get a cool cut, and I was like, no, he just kind of shaved. I was
shaved
like,
it down.
At least get a fade or something. Damn,
Yeah,
man.
for
Yeah,
Because I forgot a lot of people in the movie call him Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
And then he gives he goes to Nakia's house and gives
gives her the prom ticket.
which is a good luck note and a prom ticket. Yeah. And then Nakia doesn't go to the prom, but Malcolm shows up to her house and apologizes and tells him that she passed her test. Then Nakia kisses him. Malcolm gets his letter from Harvard. He opens it and stares directly into the camera
And
and
just
smiles.
smiles.
So I assume he got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the title card, movie ends. Humpty Dance plays over
That was
videos
good, bro.
of Malcolm dancing during the credits.
It's funny because all those dances he does too, I've seen. It's funny too because they were Childish Gambino, and then but a lot of the dances that he was doing at the end reminded me of like all the dances he does in
Yeah.
his videos too. I was like, oh, that's funny. But it was pretty funny. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was over their song too, like I'm in a good mood, can't bring me down.
Yeah.
It was a banger.
I thought the movie had a pretty good soundtrack.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack and a great atmosphere, like a great vibe
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Like that, you can't take that away. I agree for sure. You just kind of lose me in the back half a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, towards the end, I was kind of, but I also know, like, for other reasons, I was getting a little antsy when it was,
Yeah, that's true.
in
I
my
get it.
case.
I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm glad y'all felt the same way. Because
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit before I had watched it again,
Yeah.
and y'all were like, yeah, we kind of lost it with the ending, and then I also lost it at the ending. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another reason why in our
Yeah.
text I was like, save for the pod because I was like, I didn't want to influence you either.
Because I was wanting the ending to be really good, and then I was
Yeah.
like, man, but it's still, I still thought it was a good movie.
It's still a fun watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the ending is like awful. It's
Yeah.
just like we said, it's very rushed.
It could have been a great movie, and then it just has to settle for good.
I agree.
Yeah.
Give me like 10 more minutes. Flesh this shit out a little bit.
Yeah, because they totally had the
'Cause
time
it-
to go another 10 minutes.
And it was such a fun watch that, like, even if you added a couple extra minutes, I wouldn't have minded.
yeah,
I was having fun with it. you
Yeah.
know?
But all right.
Well, that movie has been juiced.
Yes, it has.
Who wants to go first? I'm pulling something up. That's why I was asking who wanted to go first.
I'll go.
Because I was just gonna read my letterbox thing.
Yeah.
I give it a 7.
Okay.
Fair 7. I know I like to throw 7s out a lot, but I feel like that's just like it's still kind of mid, but it's not too mid to where I'm like, bleh. You know what I'm saying?
Or like
It wasn't-
if I did ever rewatch it, I wouldn't mind it.
yeah, exactly. So a 7.
On Letterboxd, I gave it 2.5 stars because I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it towards the end of it.
So you give it a 5.
But I'd probably say maybe like a 6
Yeah.
on our scale, just because like I did have fun with it. It's like I said, the vibe's really good, but like I think in the review part, I just put this movie is fun, but overall it's kind of a mess. Because like it's fun in the beginning, but then it kind of loses you, and then at the end it's just too rushed. It could have gave us a little more. I'm gonna go with a 6.
I put 3 geeky friends get sent on a very wild adventure, comedy adventure film with pretty great acting performances all around. The main message I took from the movie was that it doesn't matter where you come from. If you apply yourself, you will make it. Gives off super bad vibes, but with drugs instead of alcohol.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I definitely see that too, because I definitely think if I would have watched this in 2015, I think I would have fucked with it a lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like
I know
the
that's
first,
like the second movie I said that
like-
to, but like I definitely would have, because I used to love these types of movies like this,
Yeah.
like Project X, shit like that, where like the kids are having a time, and then they kind of get in over their heads.
Yeah.
Like I used to love shit like that when I was younger, but as an adult, I'm like,
it-
it's not what I look for.
Because like I definitely like midway through, I was like, damn, this is kind of giving super bad vibes.
It is, yeah. I didn't even think about that until I watched a review, and it's crazy because like one of the reviews I watched, they literally said like the exact same thing. They were like if it was like a super bad and like this other movie had a baby, I was like, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I could, like I definitely agree with you, Kyle, because I feel like when I watched it the first time, I did really like it.
Right.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and it never became like it's not a super bad for me, where super bad's like one of my comfort films or
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't have that
Like-
nostalgia for this one like I do for that one,
Right.
you know. So
I could say
see
like
that.
Superbad came out when we were like what 12 probably.
I was like 10, so
Like
you were
10,
probably
yeah.
11.
yeah. 10,
And I only
11.
watched it for the first time, but I was like 16 on Comedy
Yeah.
Central once. So
Like,
then that's when it became
I
one of the
could
comfort
see
movies.
I could see this movie being a Superbad for
That generation.
that generation.
Okay, yeah.
Like if you were 10, 11, 12 in 2015, this movie came out and you
Oh,
watched
that's
it.
funny. They're
I
selling
remember my
drugs.
brother.
Yeah.
My brother had Superbad on DVD.
Yeah.
So that was like how I saw it originally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dad got it, and me and him watched it. I was like, this movie's great.
yeah.
But yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that tracks because I think I was definitely the lowest on it. But
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Well, we're all around the same area though. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all pretty much
Like-
in agreement. It's like, it's alright.
It's good.
Like if this
it's
was
a fun, good watch.
If this is like 2015 me, I probably would have given it probably an 8.
Same.
Or like,
It probably would
but
have reached about 8.
as an adult watching it almost 10 years after it came out,
Yeah.
7.
But I also wasn't that critical back then either. So like,
Yeah,
That's true.
I probably would have gave it even higher maybe because
Yeah,
I wasn't as I guess I don't know. There's a better word I'm trying to think of. But, like I wasn't like looking over it trying to decide what I like and don't like about it. And shit.
We all kind of turned into Stan Marsh from that episode where he thinks everything's shit.
Yeah.
So
Slide, baby.
yeah, we all became
I guess
critical.
this is growing up.
man. Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Hoppus.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, we made eye contact with him at one
It's
time.
true. He pointed at us.
Because we're the only ones that weren't trying to like
Touch
hand,
him.
like hand fuck him. So I mean,
That's the boy, bro.
Yeah.
he I think he respected the 4 of us standing there, not trying to like reach out and grab him. He's like, hey, I respect these dudes.
Yeah.
They're just here for the time.
They're here for the experience and not to touch me. I appreciate that. Still a bad haircut. I will always say that his hairstyle is not great.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Like,
It's almost like a Butch Hartman character.
because
The way it's like pointed.
Because my thing is, he had cancer, went through the therapy and stuff, had to go bald, and he still chose to grow it back
when he
out.
grew it
and-
back, he did it the
He
exact
grew
same
it back
way.
out and did it
Yeah,
again.
no, I was,
Exactly the same,
I was like, man, come on, you had
You had every reason to try something
Yeah, I was
different.
like, you had a world
and
of
you
opportunity.
chose not to.
You had a world of opportunity, and you just like, no, I'm gonna just stick with it.
But I think that's the end of the pod, yeah?
This movie has been thoroughly juiced.
Just been juiced to as much as we could, because
That's-
the ending didn't give us much.
No, it didn't. Unfortunately. It really does lose the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
But okay. Any final statements on it?
This is movie juice, man.
Yeah.
We're really out here juicing movies.
Well, all right. That's been another Movie Juiced. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. You can follow us on Facebook at Movie Juice, Instagram at Movie Juice Pod, Twitter at Movie Juice Pod. We have a coming soon website at www.moviejuicepod.com. You can email us if you have a suggestion for a movie you want us to do or just want to reach out. You can email us at moviejuicepod@gmail.com. All links can be found on our LinkedIn, which can be found on all of our social medias. We're on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can follow us all individually on Instagram and Twitter. Our handles are in the description down below. And we will be back with mid-90s next week. And as always, I've been Dylan.
I've been Kyle.
And I've been James. And one last time, this has been The Juice.